world is currently witnessing a geopolitical earthquake. Recently, US and Israeli strike on Iran are sending massive shock waves across the globe. And while the fire is burning in the Middle East, the heat is being felt most intensely in China, Russia, and North Korea. This isn't just a regional conflict anymore. It is a direct challenge to the current world order. Let's start with China. For Beijing, the situation in Iran is a nightmare scenario. Many experts argue that US military action against Tehran is a move that counters China both politically and economically. You have to remember that Iran isn't just an ally, it's a cornerstone of China's global strategy. As a key member of the BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Iran, under fire, significantly weakens China's influence in global geopolitics. Then there is the Belt and Road Initiative. Iran sits at the very heart of China's ambitious plan to connect Asia with Europe. The land route, which runs through Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan into Iran, is now effectively blocked by conflict. But the economic blow goes even deeper. China is a massive buyer of Iranian oil. Last year alone, Beijing imported an average of more than 1 billion barrels of Iranian crude per day, accounting for over 80% of Iran's total seaborne oil exports. If these supplies are disrupted, Beijing faces a massive spike in energy costs, leading in inflation and a direct hit to their defense industry and manufacturing. For China, the Middle East has shifted from a land of opportunity to a theater of extreme risks. However, where China sees risk, Russia may see opportunity. While the world is in chaos, Moscow is positioned to benefit from these rising tensions. If the Strait of Hormuz is fully blocked, the global oil market will go into a frenzy. In that scenario, China and India would have no choice but to pivot even harder toward Russian crude. We saw this happen earlier when the US took action in Venezuela. Russia stepped in and picked the rewards. Perhaps more important for Vladimir Putin, the war in Ukraine is being pushed out of the global spotlight. As American attention and crucially, massive weapon supplies are redirected to Middle East. Russia's position on the Ukraine front becomes significantly stronger. By maintaining working relations with US, Iran and Israel, Moscow is even positioning itself as a potential mediator, using the chaos to regain its status as a central diplomatic power. But while Russia calculates its gains, North Korea is preparing for a collision. Pyongyang has already come out swinging, with Kim Jong-un's regime strongly condemning the US and Israeli strike on Iran as gangster-like conduct. But behind the rhetoric lies a deeper fear. Experts believe the attack on Iran have effectively killed any immediate chance of successful nuclear negotiations between Kim and the US. Why? Because from Kim's perspective, the strikes on Iran prove that negotiations are a trap. Instead of talking, Kim is doubling down on his second strike capability. He believes nuclear deterrence is the only way to prevent a similar US military actions against his own regime. We are already seeing the result. Kim recently oversaw the test firing of strategic cruise missiles from a massive new 500-ton multi-purpose destroyer. In Pyongyang language, strategic means one thing: nuclear. Kim has made it clear that the arming of his navy with nuclear weapons is progressing rapidly, calling for the two new major warships to be built every single year. The timing couldn't be more dangerous. As we speak, US and South Korean forces are preparing for their massive Freedom Shield joint military exercise this month, involving 18,000 troops. North Korea sees these drills not as a defense, but as a rehearsal for invasion. Kim Jong-un has now officially labeled South Korea his principal enemy and has threatened to annihilate them if provoked. At a recent Workers' Party Congress, Kim sent a chilling ultimatum to Washington. The US must decide between peace coexistence or eternal confrontation. But there is a catch. Peaceful coexistence in Kim's eyes requires the US to officially recognize North Korea as a nuclear weapons power. As we look at the map, the pieces are moving towards a major escalation, with the US stretched thin across the Middle East and Russia and China backing North Korea. The risk of miscalculation has never been higher. Whether it's oil, influence, or nuclear survival, the strikes on Iran have set off a chain reaction that world may not be able to stop. This is no longer just about one region. It's about a global shift that could redefine the 21st century. China faces economic and strategic risks, Russia could quietly gain geopolitical advantages, and North Korea may feel even more convinced that nuclear weapons are the only guarantee for survival. In a world already dealing with the war in Ukraine and rising tensions in the Pacific, the conflict with Iran has become the spark that reshapes global politics, and the most dangerous part is this. If multiple crises start merging from the Middle East to Eastern Europe to the Korean Peninsula, the world could be entering one of the most volatile periods since the Cold War. The question now is not just how this war ends. The real question is how many other conflicts it might ignite along the way.